Today, we're going to look at something millions of us use every single day. A machine that, let's be honest, triggers a pretty primal fear, but is actually one of the safest things ever built. We are talking about elevators and the incredible unseen engineering that makes sure they almost never ever fall. You know that feeling, right? The doors slide shut, the cabin lurches into motion, and for just a split second, your brain whispers, uh-oh, what if this thing just drops? It's a totally universal instinctive fear. And you know what? That fear is a great survival instinct. But the engineering designed to conquer that fear, well, it's just genius. It makes a catastrophic fall pretty much impossible. So let's start by busting the biggest myth of all. Okay, first up, let's tackle the one we see in every single action movie. This idea that your life is literally hanging by a single fraying thread. Yeah, there is a huge difference between Hollywood and reality here. Movies love that drama, right? The one snapping cable. But the truth is, elevators are held up by a whole team of incredibly strong, totally independent steel ropes. And get this, just one of these individual braided steel cables is strong enough to hold the entire weight of a fully loaded elevator all by itself. But of course, they don't just use one. An elevator is typically lifted by 4 or 8, or sometimes even more of these cables. That creates a total strength that is way, way beyond any possible load. That's what engineers call redundancy. Plus, the whole thing is made more efficient by a massive counterweight that balances the car, putting way less stress on the motor and the cables. Okay, so the cables are ridiculously strong, but what about that other common fear? What happens if the power suddenly cuts out? Does the elevator just, drop? It is a terrifying thought, right? Being plunged into darkness and then just falling. But here again, the engineering is specifically designed for this exact scenario. And the answer is a hard no. And the reason is this brilliant concept called a fail-safe system. It's a whole design philosophy that basically says if something goes wrong, like a power failure, the machine has to automatically default to its safest possible state. And for an elevator, the safest state is, you guessed it, completely stopped. The way this works is just so clever. The brakes are electromagnetic, and they actually need a constant flow of electricity to hold them open. So the very second the power is cut, that electrical current is gone, and bam, powerful brakes automatically clamp shut, bringing the car to a safe, controlled stop. The loss of power is literally what triggers the brakes. Okay, so we've got redundant cables. We've got fail-safe brakes for a power outage, but let's go there. Let's talk about the absolute 1 in a billion Hollywood movie worst-case scenario. I know, it's an almost impossible situation. It would take some kind of crazy, unbelievable event. But engineers actually plan for even this. They ask themselves, okay, but what if everything, literally everything fails at the exact same moment? Well, their answer is a device that almost nobody has ever heard of. It's the final and maybe the most ingenious layer of safety that protects you. It is called the mechanical speed governor. And the coolest thing about it is that it's just pure, simple physics. It doesn't need any electricity, no computers, no fancy sensors to work. It's a completely separate system that just operates based on the laws of motion. It can't fail. So here's how it works. If the car starts moving too fast for any reason at all, this spinning governor physically trips a lever. That lever instantly deploys a totally separate set of powerful wedge-like brakes. These things slam into the guide rails in the shaft, bringing the car to a sudden, grinding halt. It is the ultimate mechanical safety net. So when you put all these pieces together, you start to see that it isn't just about one cool feature. It's about a really powerful design philosophy that makes elevators so incredibly safe. Just think about it. You've got multiple steel cables where any single one can hold the car. You've got the counterweight system taking off the strain. Then you have the fail-safe brakes that snap shut when the power goes out. And finally, sitting there just in case, is the totally independent mechanical speed governor as the ultimate backup. It is layer after layer after layer of safety. And that is why a real elevator failure looks nothing like it does in the movies. You don't get that long, screaming plunge. In the impossibly rare event that something does go wrong, what you would actually feel is a short, sharp drop, and then a very sudden, very hard stop as one of those safety systems kicks in. It would be jarring for sure, but it is not a free fall. This whole philosophy of redundancy, of assuming things will fail and then building backups for your backups, it's not unique to elevators. It's the exact same way engineers think when they design airplanes or spacecraft or nuclear power plants, any field where failure just isn't an option. And that really is the key. The whole reason you can step into that little metal box with confidence is because it was designed from the very beginning with failure in mind. Real safety isn't about hoping that things don't break. It's about making absolutely sure that when they do, the outcome is controlled and safe. So the next time you step into an elevator, maybe you'll think about all that hidden genius that's quietly at work. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other marvels of invisible engineering are all around us, keeping us safe every single day?